The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everyone, Ron here at AbleSys. Welcome to the webinar, and we'll take a look at the latest signals from today and recently with the, of course, with AbleTrend. And you know what? Let's just jump right on in. So, start off here with a stock chart. I always like to start with a swing trading stock chart. So, great for option traders, or people who just don't want to be in front of their computer. You have to trade a little bit longer term. It's great. You don't need to stare at the screen all day long, which you would have to do to be successful being a day trader. And it's always combining two time frames into one chart. That's what works so well. In this case, I like the 130-minute daily combination. It's exactly a 3-to-1 ratio, which is always what we use. That's what we use, like a 1-minute, 3-minute chart. We use a 130 daily. It's exactly 1/3 of a trading day. And this is for U.S. stocks only. It wouldn't be for futures. And it's strictly during market hours. And we're just looking always for that same combination of all the colors to be the same color. The first time they come together. For example, we have an Apple here, because very popular stock to trade, of course. And we just want to wait for the colors to line up together. And yesterday, because in between the black lines is a day. It's 3 price bars per day. And you can see right there we had a nice buy signal popped in yesterday morning. The arrow is the daily buy signal. It's blue and it's pointing up. Obviously, that means blue means prices should go higher according to the AbleTrend algorithm. We've got nice support below. We got the blue dot, and we've got the first blue bar after a series of reds and greens. So that's a perfect place to get in. It's what we call triple confirmation. Blue bar, blue small dot, and a blue arrow. That's triple confirmation. On some charts, you might see an X instead of an arrow. I just changed mine to arrows. It's easier for me to show everyone, with a blue arrow pointing up. Obviously, that means, the software says the market's going to go higher when it hits that point. So we've got a triple confirmation, and, obviously, big move here already today. And it's up after hours. I looked and saw that, there was good earnings came out today, and it's even a little bit higher. So for option traders, we go from 132 to 137 in one day. That's a strong move. But even if you just a share, trade shares, perfectly fine. Still nice signal by AbleTrend right there, just to get you in it at the right time. As soon as the buy signal come in yesterday morning, it's gone up nicely. So good job right there. Now, if you like to do more of an intraday trading, and of course, we always like the futures market because there's no time decay like you would have with options, and it's quite simple, really. As far as trading futures, it's really easy. Just buy or sell. I mean, you don't have to worry about strike prices and time decay or anything like that, compared to options. So that's what everybody likes to day trade the futures market. It's very popular. So looking at the chart right here, and this is your E-mini NASDAQ, it's quite fast. So if you like a slower moving market, I would recommend the RTY, which is the E-mini Russell. It's slightly slower, and yet it still gets, still has a nice pop to it, nice profit potential. So it just depends on, whatever, you like. I mean, everybody doesn't think exactly the same. And it's a little lower risk as far as the amount of, not lower risk, a lower account size is needed. So if you have a smaller account, I think the E-mini Russell would be the way to go. The E-mini S&P is probably the most popular or the most traded, but it's just quite choppy. It's not as smooth trending as the RTY or especially the NASDAQ, which is usually the smoothest every day. But here, and you want to always give it the first few minutes when the market opens because it can be a little crazy. And you say, well, how do I know? Well, you don't want to see the long price bars. The shorter the bars and the closer to the red dots, in this case, the red dots, the better the trade, the lower the risk, the better the trades. Here, look at all these. Here's the dots. And when the market first opens up, I mean, you're way down here. That's a really big gap from the price to the dots. Notice what happened a couple of minutes later? Price went right back to the dot. bounced off of it as it usually does because the dots are resistance and they block or stop the prices from going any further higher. So there's, if you're going to get into this trade right here, even though it's the first few minutes, just a little trade savvy or common sense sometimes will help. If you see these really long bars, I wouldn't have done anything because of the long bars. It just means it's going to be quite, good chance it's going to be choppy or a little unpredictable. However, there'd be the place to get in. There's your sweet spot. Red bar up right near a red dot, 2-minute buy signal. Sell signal. It's red. 3-minute sell signal. It's red. 1-minute sell signal. The red dot. So there'd be the place you'd want to short it. Stop loss always goes on the second higher row of red dots, which would be right there. And then we get 2 greens in a row. You want to put your stop. You could use 1 point. You can use 2 points, whatever you're more comfortable with. Either way, it's basically the same thing. So if you put it a point above the higher of the 2 green bars, you stopped out right there with a a 10-point profit to start the day. Okay, sweet spot, red dot, triple confirmation, shorter bar. I like that fact. And then shoots down nicely, but the sell signals don't last very long because the market's obviously in extremely powerful uptrend since last March. Goes up many, many more days than it goes down. So, just went down briefly and popped back up again. That's why we got to stop. We moved that stop from up here all the way down here because we're more than 10 points in profit, and we get stopped out there with 10 points. Okay. Next trade would be the triple confirmation buy signal, just right there. And I like that it broke above the red resistance points here. So it's kind of like we broke through resistance. Now it's like we broke through the clouds. We've got a nice clear path for it to go higher, and that's exactly what it did. So that one worked out nicely. This doesn't. Yeah, this looks like it is 10 points, but never got stopped out. There's 2 more greens, and we would have been stopped out right about in that area there. So we would have went long at 45, and it would have been stopped out here at about 60. Let's even call it 55. Make the gain even less than it was, because you always got commissions and slippage, and nobody's going to get every one of these trades perfect. Believe me, nobody is. Myself included. It's impossible. The market's moving fast. You just want to pick up the bulk of these trades. I'm just showing you where your entries are, where your exits, where your stops are, and you want to just pick up, most of that. That's the best you can ask for. The software is moving quick, but the best part is the software is no emotion. That's why it works so well. This has been an extremely profitable start to the year. January's been great to us, AbleTrend traders. I mean, it's been really, really good because the markets have been nice and trending, and they've been moving quite nicely too. Okay, then of course no trade zone. This is just one big giant no trade zone. AbleTrend told us over here at 11:07 on Eastern time that you got support below. It's going to have a real hard time breaking below it. It's like a wall there to block it from going lower. There's a wall of red above it that blocks it from going higher. Well, the software told us half an hour before it even happened it was going to be sideways. That's exactly what happened. Sideways. We've got a triple confirmation short right there, but we really break about even on that one because we'd be, here's the second higher row of red dots, pretty much about where we got in. So no gain there, no trade zone there, obviously. And there's a really nice triple confirmation sell signal. It's a short bar. I love those short bars. It breaks just below support. That's another good sign. You've got a 1-minute buy sell signal, 2-minute sell signal, 3-minute sell signal, red price bar. Boy, that's a real pile of odds stacked in our favor there to go short. Here's the 2 greens. Stop's going to go 1 point above. And then right about there, we'd be stopped out when it got hit. But that was a real good one there. That worked out nice. Went short at about 55, and we got stopped out at about, say, 33. So, that's 22 points. Let's even say 20, slippage, commissions. Markets are moving fast. 20 points is $400. So that's a real nice trade right there. Okay, I'm just going to roll along a little quicker here because I got another chart to look at. But, one big, gigantic no trade zone. We don't have triple confirmation. You need to have that big arrow. Got to have that 3-minute. If you don't have the 3-minute, That's got to come. If there's no 3-minute, nothing to look at. Just sit on the sidelines. No trade. Here's your triple confirmation. I like that it's a short bar. If the stop is too far away, which in this case it's like 20 points away, there's no way I would use a 20-point stop. You can use 1 point below the lower of the triple confirmation price bar. And being that it's triple confirmation, it's a short bar. You're not getting in right at the open where there's a volume explosion. That's why the open is very tricky, because you're getting, thousands of contracts being traded all at the same time. You certainly can get in right there. Everything looks fine for there, and that one would have worked out nice. Here's our 2 greens. Stop goes under it, never hit it. 2 greens, stopped under it, never hit it. 2 greens, stop out. So that was another. It wasn't a big one. It was like 10 points, but it was a winner. Okay, short trade here, and that worked out. That would have been a losing trade. Would have been a losing trade because it turned right around and went the opposite way. But nice winner here, a little after 2 o'clock Eastern, right about in there. And that one worked out really, really nice. Nice sweet spot right here if you missed it. But the sweet spot would have only broke even. But the trade was worked out well. I mean, that was, about 10 points. So, at 10 points, $200. And then, a couple of break evens. And there we go. So let me jump into the last trade of the last chart we like, and that's different from the last one. This is the scalp chart. This is for somebody that just likes to be in and out of the chart in the trades in a minute or two. Only going for 5 points on the NASDAQ, 1 point on the Russell. You got your NASDAQ scalp chart here, and I've got my Russell chart right down the bottom there. But I'm going to look at the NASDAQ scalp chart for now. It's the same color, same dots, and the exact same rules. Except instead of 5 points profit, we're using 1 point profit, because the Russell moves a little slow, and it's $50 a point for the Russell, $20 a point for the NASDAQ. So this is a real simple system, simple rules, very simple. Again, real long bars, choppy the first 5 or 10 minutes. Just got to use some judgment on that. No trade anywhere in there. But there's a trade. It hits the blue dot and closes above the blue dot. That's the criteria of a trade. It's the blue dot, closes above the blue dot. We put the stop loss 2 points below the blue dots. And we don't want to get into a trade that's 8 points above the blue dots. Why? Because if we have 8 points above max, 2 points under is the stop, max loss is 10 points. Don't even like that, but that's max loss. Now, it's very possible that it went up first before it went down, but I'm going to count that as a losing trade right here. So first trade of the day, we would have lost 5 points. Next trade, we hit the blue dot, closes above it, and then 1 minute later, we get the 5 points back. So we're basically about break even. You can take this trade. This is strictly optional because there's a little more risk in it, but I'm just, the software says, okay, it's okay to take it if you want. Strictly optional, this scalp trade here. Why? You got the big blue dot and you got the blue arrow. And as it turns out, that would have been a winner because a minute later, you got your 5 points. But that's strictly optional. Okay? Buy signal right there, hits the blue dot, closes above it. That's a winner, 5 points. Hits the blue dot, closes above it. 2 minutes later, 5 points, winner. Hits the blue dot, closes above it. To top there, you got 6 points on that. We're just looking for 5. That's another winner. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4 winners in a row. Very simple rules. If it hits the blue dot and closes above it, although not more than 8 points above it, it's a trade. You immediately hit the buy market button. Immediately. It's best even maybe put your if you can, put your trading platform on top of the chart. So all you need is the right side. Losing trade right here. Hits the blue dot, closes above it, but then it goes 2 points under. We lost on that trade right there. Okay? Hits the blue arrow, in between the arrow, it's the same thing. Closes above it. A minute later, 2 minutes later, we got the 5 points. Another winner. So we had 5 out of 6 here, but we had 2 losers earlier. So it looks like we're sitting about 6 and 4, maybe 7 and 4 if we count them up. I think it was 7 and 4 to be exact on the first 11 trades. It's about 20 a day on average. losing trade here. It's a valid trade. I only lost 2 points on that one. I like to make it 5. Call it a 5-point loss. That's a valid triple confirmation sell signal. Again, it's optional because there's more risk in it, but you got the big dot and the big arrow, and that one would have been a winner, but I'm not going to count it because that, not everybody might not have taken it. That's a losing trade there. I lost 2 points, but that's a losing trade. No trade yet, no trade yet, no trade yet. Hits the arrow, close to 5 points. I'm going to call it that we didn't, and then it went 2 points above the arrow right there. No trade in there, no trade there. Boy, real close to hitting the dot. I'm not going to count that one. Of course, it would have been a winner, but I'm not going to count that. This is going to be a losing trade here, and then another one there. So we had a little rocky stretch there. We had 3 losers in a row. But then we had a winner right there. 2 minutes later, it went up. And that's a really short bar. So that's very low risk. Low risk of the shorter bars. I keep saying it because I want to make that clear. Winning trade here, any one of those would have been a winner. 1 minute, 2 minutes later, winner. That one did not work out. I'd say so far we're probably at maybe about break even. That one would not have worked out. This one is a winner. That's a winner. Just kind of going through it real quick, as you can see. And that looks like that's about it. That's the 4 o'clock New York close. So maybe come up a little bit ahead, but I'm going to call that a break even because you got commissions, you got slippage. You got to be real quick on that one. So probably about a break even day today. We've been winning about 2 out of every 3 trades have been good. So it's been really good, but it's not going to be perfect, obviously. But way more winning days, and that's what's important. Why it's so well liked. This is the Russell chart, real quick. Hits the red dot, closes under it. Again, we're just looking for 1 point on the Russell. You might like the Russell better. Again, it's a little slower moving. I like the Russell. Either trend trading on the Russell or scalping on the Russell. Either one works real well. Same rules, same color, same dots. These 2 did not work out. This one did work out. This one did work out. This one did not. There's a winner right there. So it comes, kind of a break-even kind of day, it looks like. That's a winning trade, hits the arrow, bounces off it. That's a losing trade right there. And that would be a losing trade right there. That would be a winning trade right there. So overall, maybe slightly ahead, but let's just call that a couple break-even days today on the scalp chart. Last 3 days were really good, especially Tuesday was a very big winning day, and that webinar is already on YouTube as this one will be tomorrow. So feel free to check all the latest webinars. That's how I kind of keep in contact with thousands of clients, and anything I can do for you, of course, a call, email, whatever I can do anytime. Just let me know. Always glad to help. You're welcome, Deborah. She's saying thank you for the webinars. You're very welcome. Michael Z, thanks as always. You're the best. Thanks, Michael. You are too, my friend. Good guy. Hi, Jim, and looks like Kay is in the room too, and a bunch of others. You're welcome, Harry. Thanks everyone for being here. I hope I was helpful. Just feel free to call anytime. The most important, or email. Most important thing is just to keep your emotions out of trading because the software has no emotion, and that's why it works so well. That's the hardest part of trading. That's why it's just not for everybody. If that's kind of getting to you, then you got to just trade the longer term. Swing trade stocks or even use daily, weekly, longer term stocks. That works really well, and you don't have to be so stressed out and be in front of your computer day trading all the time. That's extremely profitable, and I showed you that first stock trade, swing trading stock chart today, which is real simple. You can use 130-minute daily, or you can use daily, weekly. You only have to check it once a day that way. So it really brings the stress level down that way. You're welcome, Ed. Thanks, everyone, for being here, and have a good night, and stay safe.